never been tested in the championship round on the Professional Bowlers Tour, going against bowling's greatest star, Mark Roth. Bob Benoit stayed right near the top all the way, and he has chosen to let Roth start the match. That means Roth will throw the last ball if there's one shot to be thrown for the money. So here we go, championship round, 12th Quaker State Open.
$41,000 at stake in this one head-to-head match in Grand Prairie. Roth, first frame. Now, let's learn more about Bob Benoit. He's 33 years old, now living in Topeka, Kansas. Former Dallas resident, said he'd like to come back to the Big D. And he's back this week in bowling for sure. Tournament leader, first shot. Capacity crowd here at the Forum Lanes.
Watch the profile and the five-step full approach delivery of Bob Benoit. Look at him roll that ball back on the wrist, much like Jimmy Keith, who we saw last year a couple of times in the championship round. Then release that wrist underneath the ball. That's what initiates the tremendous hook power that has made Benoit so successful in his comeback. He didn't have that type of shot when he came out here in the early 80s. He was a straight ball player.
Championship pair, 2 games on it. During competition, he had 245 and 241, by far the best. So now we get a look at Benoit. Average 222, 42 games. Final 24 games, he won 19 and lost 5. Last night, 7 of 8.
He backed off for no one. Everybody said he'd falter, and then they predicted today that he would bend under the pressure of Roth, but he hasn't so far.
And this 33-year-old has a 3-bagger. Good numbers for Bob Benoit.
Watch how Bob Benoit holds that ball. He just rolls it back on his wrist. He used to be a straight ball player where he held his wrist flat. He started practicing with a light ball so he could do that, and he still only uses a 15-pound ball, Chris. I have not seen any pros been successful, especially right-handers on the Pro Tour with a 15-pound ball. Some of the left-handers have tried it. Mike Albee tried it, and Dave Davis, 2 of the great lefties, have tried it, but they could play a little bit more outside angle. Benoit doing it on the right side is just amazing, but he has so much a big hook.
And a professional that's 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs 130 pounds has 4 in a row in the title game. An 18-year professional with 33 titles. Spare up, shooting in the 4th. Oh, he needed that to stay close. Because his opponent has opened with a 4-bagger.
The championship pair been very evenly distributed in the strikes. Look at lane 39 through 3 games, or 3.5 games now as we've gone through 4 frames. Lane 40, 25 strikes, spares equal, and open frames equal. So a well-balanced pair, although the left-hand lane hooks a little bit more. Roth has been around the pocket all 4 shots. He has 3 strikes, but Benoit, his opponent, has been perfect so far.
Roth, who eliminated Joe Berardi, last week's winner, now has answered back with a double and now trails by only 11, but that can change because Benoit has 4 in a row, shooting in the 5th.
Bob Benoit, who relinquished himself to regional play, won 3 regional championships in the last couple of years, Corpus Christi, Texas, Denison, Texas, and McAllen, but this is his first chance at a national title.
Now he has 5. The tournament leader. And earlier we asked him if he felt he had an edge going into the title game.
Well, I think with the hometown crowd pulling for me here, since I used to bowl league in this house, that'll help considerably. But I kind of look at it this way. I've got a 50-50 chance of winning, and I've got nothing to lose, so I'm just going to go for broke.
Bob Benoit, who lived here for 11 years, bowled league in this house, Chris. What a way to go for broke. He's perfect through 5.
And now If he can get 6 more, True Value Hardware will be happy to present him with a $100,000 check. As you're looking at Susan Benoit, little lady from Topeka, and that he's not thinking about that, I'm sure, but if it would, what pressure that is. 100,000.
No doubt, he still has to get by this man. This match is long from over.
Double up. He shot a 223 with 6 strikes against Berardi's 212. 223, 212.
You know, the keys to shooting a big game sometimes, Chris, there's somebody making you or pulling you along like a pacer in a mile race. Roth right now is the pacer for Benoit. He's perfect, but don't count Roth out. 5 out of 6 strikes. Can cut the lead of Benoit's down to 11 with a strike here.
Remarkable. Unshakable, Mark Roth.
And I'll tell you, as an opponent, you don't like to see a guy come up and throw a shot like this. This is a ripper. He hits the 5-pin right in the face, drives it over into the 7, has cut the lead of Benoit's, even though he's perfect, down to just 11 pins through 6 frames.
And for Benoit, he has reached the 7th frame. Seven in a row. Thing of beauty to watch perfection.
Look out for a guy down on one knee. You can just bet that's a good tip-off that a player thinks he's throwing a good shot. When you see him walking left or right, or those eyeballs opening up a little too big, you know he may have a problem. But when they're down on one knee, you can bet it's close. Scoreboard tells the story. Ed Blanco of True Value back in Chicago. Hope he's watching. I'd be delighted to give away another 100. Now Mark Roth, 4-bagger, shooting in the 8th frame. 129 through the 5th. Look up the split, leaving the 10-pin. Roth coming up high, Chris, as you said, almost leaves the 4, 7, and 10 pins. Gets the break, still stays in the match. Hey, don't count this match out.
A smooth release. Mark Roth and covering the 10-pin, marking with the spare in the 8th. We are in our final game. This man has 8 in a row.
Mark Roth said he would like to get home tomorrow to watch his daughter Stephanie in her skating exhibition, but if he'd happen to win this, he'd have to stay over at the Petroleum Club and host a champions banquet tonight. But the way Benoit's going, if Roth doesn't get another strike here, he won't have to worry about that banquet. He has a potential 258, though, 9th frame.
Stephanie having a real big test in the figures portion of advancing in figure skating competition. We wish her well.
Bob Benoit being tested. I think the test is over. He's proven that he has the mettle to be a professional bowler. Now let's see if he can have bowling immortality. He's only 4 strikes away from his first title and a perfect game.
And now he needs 3 more.
Chris, this strike locks up the title. He cannot lose the title no matter what Roth does. 258 will not be enough to win. Now it's just a matter of can he take all the money. A possible $127,000 paycheck in his first appearance. 10th frame.
that he needs only 2 more. No, the furrows in his brow are getting deeper, but I think his shot's even getting better, if that's possible.
You're absolutely correct, Chris. A lot of people said to me, this young man will choke. I says, don't count out these tough young guys. There's probably been whipped around a schoolyard by some bully sometime, but put a bowling ball in his hand and look out. He's Superman. He's got 10 in a row.
And Susan, oh, the pressure on this sweet blonde. Tears in her eyes. And if this doesn't get your heart pumping, I doubt if there's much that will. 1 to go for 100,000 smackers.
This is where years of practice come into play. There's really not much you can think about. It's all natural ability. Keep your eyes on your target and hope the dear Lord wants you to have it.
Here it is.
Everybody on the approach. What a scene set as his wife Susan hugs him, and with the man who has just won his first title is my partner, Chris Schenkel. Take it away, Chris.
My goodness, young man, Bob Benoit. First title, first $100,000, I know.
Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm just ecstatic here. I don't understand what's going on, but whatever it is, I hope it doesn't ever leave me.
Those shots were absolutely beautiful that you laid in there.
Oh, thank you. I was so nervous with the last 4 to go. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to stand up.
You had your family, a lot of your family here rooting for you. I know that was a lot of fortification to keep a fellow skinny guy going.
I don't know. I used to bowl league here, and I used to live in Dallas, and it was great winning my first title here and shooting 300 on TV. I couldn't ask for a better place.
You gave a thrill to me. In a few months, we've had a couple of these now, and Dennis Swanson, the president of ABC Sports, has something in his hand that is going to maybe make you speechless. Dennis?
Bob, on behalf of Ed Langto and True Value, we've got a $100,000 check to give you here. I'm glad I was in Dallas to be here with him. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
When do you think you'll come back to Earth?
I'm not sure if I'll ever come back to Earth.
Here you are, you man.
Oh, thank you.
You know, Wayne Webb against Pete McCartick had a big game, and so did the great Mark Roth against you. Do you have a final comment?
Oh, anytime you can beat Mark Roth, you've done something. In my opinion, he's the greatest bowler in the world, and I happen to have everything falling my way tonight.
Well, this is your week. Right now, you're the greatest.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to thank True Value and Jeannie Halsey and Randy Halsey and all the fans that were here this week to help me and get me through.
Okay, we're going to take a break.
I'm the Quaker State.
We'll be back here in about a minute. Bob Benoit, perfect 300 game shooter. We'll be back.